Hey guys, thanks for checking out the second video. First of all, I wanted to thank a bunch of you for being so patient. I know it's taken quite a while for me to get this second video out, but making videos on YouTube is a hobby for me, and I really only want to put a video out if I can do a good job. And I was filming and editing the video, and I realized it was going to be like 20 minutes long, and I still didn't even really explain what it was that I had done to fix my Puffco. Because I didn't actually fix the Puffco, I kind of hacked it. So I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I first did in that first video, and then what I eventually moved to that was a better solution and is going to protect the battery in the Puffco longer. So the short of what I've done is I 3D printed a new base for the Puffco, and inside that base, oh, I've taken the bottom off already. All I did is put a DC jack and these wires solder onto the positive and negative lead of the board. Let me just give you a better view. So you can see it's just a DC jack. I didn't use the ground, I just used the two pieces of the barrel connector. And then yeah, these solder on right to the board where the battery inside of the Puffco attaches. So the reason we do that is the charger inside of here is broken. For whatever reason, I don't know why mine's not working. It doesn't actually charge the battery inside. Inside of this Puffco, you have a 7.2 volt battery. So the trick is find yourself a transformer that puts out 7.5 volts around about. A little higher is okay, but you don't want to go too much higher, and I'll explain in a second. And 1 amp of output. You don't want more than that. Again, the reason you don't want too high of a voltage or too high of an amperage is both of those things will charge your battery too quickly. Charging these batteries too quickly or overcharging them can lead to a fire, which will destroy the batteries and the product entirely. So it's not worth it. I used this for a few weeks, and it charged it, and I was able to use it, but it never fully charged it because I believe when this is fully charged, it's like 8.4 volts. This only charged it up to 7.5 volts. So, you know, you be the judge. It would read full though, like when you do the multi-click and whatever, it would actually say that it had charged the battery. So for around $10, you can get a 7.5 volt, 1 amp DC transformer, and that will, with this mod, charge your Puffco. So that's the easy way. The better way is with a fancier charger. So an actual smart charger. And the difference being, this not only can put out a charge, it can read what the voltage of this battery is. So improved is this, where when I turn it on, just gonna get it started, it'll actually read the voltage and read the battery, and it says, yep, there are actually 2 cells there. And 2-cell batteries are all kind of the same. Don't quote me on that. But most of them are rated at 7.2 volts, is what's stamped on the battery. And when they're fully charged, they're 8.4 volts. So you can see hooked up to this charger that the battery inside of here is fully charged at 8.4 volts. So disconnect it from the charger. Oh, and see, you can even see it senses when the connection's broken. The downside to this is a smart charger, a cheap one, is still like 3 times the price of this sort of charger. So depending on, you know, what you're valuing and how much money you have available, this might be what you want immediately while you save up for a little bit better of a charger. I have this because I play with RC stuff and other stuff. So now you can see when I hooked it up to that charger, this was charged. This little mod, I don't mind this base. You might want to make something slimmer. You could also put a battery in line in this pocket. So if I took a 2-cell battery, so 2 lithium cells that fit in this space, I could replace the battery that's inside of here if the battery was broken for some reason. There is a balance lead that goes onto the main board, so you might have to kind of emulate the battery to fix that, but I haven't had that issue, and so I haven't had to make those modifications. But if you look, how do I turn this thing on? I can't remember. Press and hold? No. Oh yeah, there you go. So there you go, turn on, click it, changes. So it works like normal, and 1, 2, I think. Oh no, that's how to get it going. Press and hold to shut it off. Sorry guys, it's actually been a while since I used this. This was like a travel thing, and then I broke the glass for it. So it's kind of just been sitting here, even though I have extra glass. I'm a silly guy at times. I think it's 3 clicks. Yeah, there you go. So see, it flashes green. This thing reads full battery. That thing reads full battery. This Puffco charged. And for me, my problem being that the Puffco stopped charging, that hack fixed it. This might not be what you're looking for, but hopefully this little 3-minute intro has given you a better understanding of what the next 20 minutes kind of entail, because I go through disassembling, installing the leads, where these get connected, and kind of go in a lot more detail. So check out the rest of the video. Hope it helps. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and hopefully the next video comes out a little bit quicker. Enjoy, guys. Okay, so we're fixing this Puffco again. If you haven't already seen the first video, go back to it for a little bit more detailed explanation of how this thing comes apart. This thing's battery's busted and it doesn't charge anymore. So I do have to open it back up to do this fix. So the game plan is to get this thing apart, and then right here there are the 2 connections for the battery that are normally charging through the USB port, but this one doesn't charge through the USB port. And instead of actually fixing the board, I figured out that this just kind of works around it. So we're going to take a power supply, this one right here. The important part is how many volts it outputs. So this one says 7.5. When I get inside of this thing, you'll see that it takes 7.4 volts from the battery. So at the very least, this thing should run plugged into the wall, because then you're essentially just replacing the battery with the transformer. These are little security bits, and if you don't have this fancy screwdriver, you can check out the link in the description of the first video to get your own set. So be careful, this piece will fall out. And now we just need to attach to those 2 points. So I've already been in here, I've already soldered to these. You can see red is positive, black is negative. And if we look at our transformer and plug it in, we can use the multimeter to test and see. And I don't have my multimeter, I'll have to run and grab that. But let's just get all these tinned up. So what I've done in the past is solder just directly to here. So I believe this was the positive lead and this was the negative, but I just soldered them right to it. And that's actually enough to get the battery charged and get it going. So if for some reason the battery's just low, and you just want a temporary fix, that might be enough to get it going for you. So solder these leads on and then plug it in and charge it. Plug this part into the wall, and that should charge your battery. But I gotta go get my multimeter so I can test some stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Normally it takes me forever to go find stuff. Alright, where were we? I need to... Oh, you know what I forgot to figure out? What voltage these are. So the game plan, I guess I should have covered that, is we're going to take this transformer and we are going to attach it to, a missing end. We're essentially just going to attach it to a base that plugs into here that I misplaced that to. It'll turn up. Might have to stop recording so I can go find that. Yeah, I think that's what I will do. Okay, I'm back. I was able to find another one. I don't know if this is the one that I had from before, but I need to tin up all my wires. while the camera was off, I took a minute to plug in the wall adapter and use my multimeter to figure out which side was the hot side. So this is the positive side, and I need to get some heat shrink on there. I like trying to use little scraps of heat shrink, but when you don't have any, you don't have any. This is the smallest I got. We'll cut that in two. And just slip that on ahead. We get a little bit of flux on those. And then make sure everything is straight. Should have done this before I put the flux on, but it doesn't really hurt. And then with a nice clean tip, we're just going to tin these. I might edit through this. We'll see how it plays back when I watch it. Same treatment with these ones. A little bit of flux. And then tin them. Don't forget to clean the tip. And now we'll use the helping hands to attach these together. So let me just quickly check if the inner or the outer. So if I recall correctly, what would be the 0 volts or ground on this transformer, so this leg here should go to the outside of the barrel. So I'm just going to try and, so that's for the inside, and this one is for the outside. Okay, so we're going to take, all right, so that takes care of the power input, and we are going to have that go to the Puffco base through this little adapter here. I gotta go get some wire. I really thought I planned this out. Now normally you'd want to color code this, but because we are the only ones going in here, and this is more for illustration than necessity, we're just going to use white wire on both of them. Make sure that's adequately tinned. All right, with those soldered in place, we can close the Puffco back up, and then the whole thing will kind of come together inside of this. So I've already put some tape on there, and that'll stick it all together. So I'm going to start putting this thing back together, and because I didn't pull this out and because I didn't pull anything else out, I don't actually have to really delicately reroute all of these wires like I had to last time. So quickly, I'm just going to go in and make sure that these wires are tucked in between the board like they're supposed to. And then put this piece back in and put the other side of the shell back on. There we go. So the pieces should all fit together. The wires shouldn't be really, pinched or bent. So if you solder them going straight up, you'll have trouble. So I'm going to put these wires or screws back in, and then it's on to the final stage. All right, this is going together well. The next piece is this chunk of silicone. I actually have more trouble getting this thing back on than I ever do getting it off. kind of rolls in on itself, and it really, I'm sure they've got a technique for doing this at the Puffco factory or wherever these things get made. But like the top kind of lines up, and then you just keep pulling it down and around. It's definitely not the right way. If you look, I've actually kind of cracked the silicone on mine by doing this. But, all right, so that's about where it'll stay. So, yep, everything's lined up, everything's put back together. Okay, so this is actually the cool part, or I think it's the cool part. So I just made this little 3D printed base, and I'm gonna use this barrel connector, and I'm going to kick myself in the pants right now for not color coding these, because now that it's closed up, I don't remember which one was positive and which one was negative. I could review the video, but stupid me. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna pause. Okay, we're back, and like magic. Oh, almost like magic. Oh, this might be how they figure it out. Not how they figure it out, how they put the Puffco cover on. And then it flips down around it. Aha. Alright, so we're back where we were before I realized I was an idiot and was totally screwing things up by not color coding my wires. What a dummy. Alright, now I gotta figure out the polarity of this bad boy. Outside should connect to ground. So the outside, let me put my multimeter in shot so you guys can see what's going on. So the outside should connect to that pin. Okay. And then this pin to the bottom. All right. Straightforward enough. So this leg here is going to attach to this wire here. So this base, we're going to feed the wires. Oh man, why am I having so much trouble? We're going through here. This is going in place. May as well actually take the tape off. Whoa. How are we so victorious so quickly? And this tape should hold it in place. Let me line that up. That's pretty close. We're just gonna give it a squish. And I think that will hold right in place. I'm gonna solder, man, my short-term memory. Maybe this Puffco not helping. So I believe it was this middle leg went to the outside, or middle leg was ground. Somewhere in here. Yeah, okay, and then this leg should connect to the pin in the middle. Okay, so this leg here to this tab here, and let me get some heat shrink on that actually. Why does the heat shrink always seem like it's the right size until you go to actually put it on? I'm gonna grab some cleaner. All right, smaller piece of heat shrink. Put that over there. And then where did I put the barrel? There it is. And so this one here to there. Wow, that took forever to cool down. Slide that over there. And then this one, now that that one is sleeved, can safely connect. In this one, so this solder does have flux in it, so it self-cleans, but it really is best to use the flux. Okay, we'll use this helping hand. So that way I can put this in place. Oh, you know what? Another piece of heat shrink, just for good measure. It's not like it can short out between the plastic or anything, so it's not a huge concern because the other side is shielded properly. But better safe than sorry. Oh, you know what? Jeez. I'm a goof. Can't put that on yet. I gotta put it through the hole. I'm only like halfway there. These have to go out through this hole so that I can pull the wires back through that hole. Okay. Try this again. Now I can't let these touch by accident. That's one. And that's two. Okay, I'm just gonna pull the heat shrink. Oh, shoot. All right, just gonna give that a quick once over with the blowtorch. Okay. Oh my goodness. Not my day. I would have been fine doing it the way before. And if you look, this is not how this is meant to go. We'll just edit this whole part out. Maybe we'll just fast forward through it and I'll tell you how embarrassed I was. Okay, cut it back, do it again. How funny. This is how it goes though. You get an idea in your head and you get to work. Sometimes you just lose sight of the rest of the project or what you'd planned out. Doesn't matter that you put a whole demo piece together and figured this all out before you shot the video. No. Put a camera on and suddenly things take twice as long and go surprisingly poorly. All right, let's get these detached again. Pull these wires back, because they didn't need to be through there. Put some new heat shrink on. Necessarily large, but I think I don't have any smaller heat shrink actually right now. Oh, you know what? I'm a goof. There's some smaller stuff right here. All right, now for my third and final time, let's try that. Okay, so this leg is the hot leg. Oh, you know what? That's got some schmoo on it. Nice. Clean that up. All right. All right. Slide my heat shrink back up and on to protect those connections. Give that a touch of heat. And they say you don't need a blowtorch anymore after you get a Puffco. All right. Now these should just go right through there. Oh, look at that, like it was made for it. Then the washer, so I can pick it up, and the ring. And we are so almost there. All right. Moment of truth. All right, oh, let's put this piece back on. You know, vanity and stuff. And then the barrel. Or whatever you call that part. The bowl, the dish. Oh, I actually had to replace the coil pretty recently. All right, so if everything worked, I should be able to plug this power adapter in. Take this end of it and plug that in. And then, oh. There you go. Press and hold it and that power turns on. Double click. Oh. There you go, and you can see now that it's plugged in, you can cycle through the colors. Double click. Oh. Okay, so it doesn't like the battery's low. So I'll leave it for a few hours and then that should be the end of the video. But that's literally all I did to fix my Puffco. Now this barrel connector and everything might not be good, so I'm just going to check it out real quick with the multimeter and we'll see how many volts we have actually in here. Alright, I have it back, well, sorry, I put these in backwards. So the red goes to the red, and black goes to black. We're only at 6.78 volts, so that's weird, because we tested this thing before. Maybe it's pulling the voltage down. Maybe I'll have to use a different power supply. We'll see. This was working for me in the past, so hopefully it works again. I'm printing the base or the bottom for this base, but that should be about all you need. I'll upload the STL file to my website and the Fusion file if anybody can use that. But that's about it. So now that this thing's not completely dead, you'll see when it's plugged in and you click it 3 times, you get the green light that shows it's fully charged. And when we disconnect it and click it 3 times, you see it's not fully charged. But if we leave it plugged in overnight or whatever, it'll be fully charged in the morning. And that's how you fix your Puffco. Well, that's how I did it.